Guys, it's me again. I just wanted to quickly hop on here and show you my gaming collection, which I never really showed you in the first place. So here we go. First up, we have Soul Calibur 6. I really like the game. I really like the series. It's really action packed. So if you really want something like that that's action packed, but you could also create your characters. You could go through the storyline, and it involves all the characters, but then each character has an individual storyline. So that's what I really like about it. The only bad part is I can't choose Tara, who was the girl with the ring in Soul Calibur 5, because apparently I cannot choose her on Soul Calibur 6, which does not make sense, but I'm going to figure out how to eventually get her. Eventually, there might be some secret code for me to get her. But anyway, next is Skyforge. Skyforge is it's a RPG game. You can download it on PS4, Xbox, PS3, your laptop. Yeah, I had this game on my laptop, but ever since I exchanged laptops and I got a Wi-Fi repeater to extend my Wi-Fi to upstairs in the house. I'm like, okay, I don't need to play it on my laptop anymore and take it downstairs and do that. I can just download it on my PS4 now that I have internet. So that's what I've been doing, and it's been saving my progress. Because I would take my PS4 downstairs and play it on the big TV, but now that I have internet, I'm like, I don't need to do that no more. So up here I go. So it's Skyforge is basically, it revolves around a world named Alien. It revolves around a world named Alien, and basically Alien is like any other world, except it has immortals, elder gods, and grove walkers. Immortal. If you're immortal, that means no matter how many times you die, you do have special powers. No matter how many times you die, you do come back. Elder gods mean you can take on a divine form. A divine form is like the most powerful being. And grove walkers, they can transform into like creatures. So yeah, you can choose between different classes like archery, kinetic, cryomatter, a lightbender, paladin, alchemist. Um, yeah, you can do different classes have different powers. It's almost like Avatar, a little bit. Also, the story revolves around there's this person who betrayed Alien, and it has divided the people against each other, and the reason, and you have to figure out why the person has betrayed Alien, and who did it, who also worked with the person that betrayed Alien, because as you figure out in the story, there's more than one person that did this, and that the person who betrayed Alien was cursed with betraying the world, so to benefit the person who seems like you can trust them, but then you have to look again, because as the time goes on and on and on, you figure out okay, this person is not really who they say they are. So I urge you to go get it. All the meanwhile, while trying to cleanse the different mini worlds, because there are many worlds inside of Alien, to purge the many worlds for of monsters, to purge the many worlds of monsters that apparently the betrayer has called up. Yeah. Next is Driving Essentials. This is not really a game. It was just like to help me drive, to get a feel of the controls. I still have it on here. I play it sometimes just because I'm bored in the house, and just until I get my car, I can feel like I'm driving on the road. But it's fine. Um Next is my Pac-Man Champion Edition 2 and arcade games. It has Pac-Man, it has Galaga, it has it has Dig-a-Dug, and it has the regular Pac-Man. The Pac-Man Championship, I did not know what that was until I played it. And I did not know that all the ghosts were trying to get you, that all the ghosts would just follow you from the get-go, and you would have to get all the dots, and then at one point you have to chase the ghosts and try to eat their line, which that's crazy. If any of you remember Galaga is like that. You shoot the bugs from the rocket ship. So yeah, Dig-a-Dug, you dig. That's the one with the harpoon. Yeah, that's called that. And then you have the regular Pac-Man version, which I like the whole thing, but the most I play is the Pac-Man Championship Edition. I did not know that you can actually play this for money. And there's actual championships of it, so that's really fun. Dauntless, I have not played Dauntless before. I just downloaded it, and it was free. The full game was free in the PS Store. I just downloaded it. I haven't done anything with it, so yeah. Next is A Plague Tale: Innocence. I have gotten so far as in where I'm in the rat's nest, and I'm trying to get out. For any of you who have not played it, I'm so sorry. I think I just spoiled some of it for you, but it's really good, and you'll see me play this one day. Outer Worlds is really good. It's more of okay, so it won't give me okay. Outer Worlds is more like how can I describe it? Outer Worlds, you have to cleanse. You have to just cleanse the world. I can't really describe it because I know what it is, but it's hard. It's hard to describe it. So, yeah. Okay, I found the little box that came with it. So it says, lost in transit while on a college ship bound for the further edge of the galaxy, you wake up decades later than you expected while finding yourself in the midst of a deep conspiracy on the verge of destroying Helicon colony as you explore the further reaches of space and encounter a host of factions vying for power who you decide to become will determine the fate of everybody in Helicon in the corporation equation for the equality. You are the unplanned variable. All right. That was a mouthful. Yeah. Shadow of War, it's yeah. Shadow of War, it's basically another fighting game. I was really attracted to it. Sometimes I just go into Target or GameStop and just be like, hey, I want this game, or I want this game because it just looks pretty. And then I find out that it's actually awesome. Or I go into stores and I look at a game and I'm like, okay, that game looks cool. I see everybody else playing it. And then all of a sudden, I'm like 5 minutes in, this is not right. So yeah. Next I have Bloodborne. You purge your evil nightmares away. So it's basically, you're an outcast and you're basically, one night a year there's a time where like all these people from the dead or these infected people come out and they kill. So basically you're an outcast trying to survive and trying to save the town. Yeah. Next I have Spyro, the trilogy. If any of you remember Spyro the original, You remember that is so freaking awesome. So I have like almost I'm stuck on a part of Spyro where I have to defeat the bosses. So it's really fun. You go through different worlds, you rescue the dragons, you rescue eggs. Meanwhile, I'm fighting off a witch, warlock, and apparently I think a dinosaur or something. So yeah, it's really, really fun. Yep. Next, I have Extinction. Extinction is you have to try and save different towns from that dude with the little baton, almost looking like Goliath. Yeah. Your only weapon is that sword, and although it looks powerful, you only have one power move. You only have one move, and it's you just press one button and that's it. Like that's what I don't like about it. But if that's more of your speed, then get it. Little Nightmares. I love Little Nightmares. Little Nightmares is it's a girl named Four. It's a girl named Four, and she is trapped on the ship. And she's trapped on the ship, and she has to figure her way out of the ship. Meanwhile, while trying to escape different monsters, like you have Mr. Long Arms, you have Mr. Long Arms, you have the Butcher, you have the Madam, you have the fat people, and I'm not gonna call them fat. I'm gonna call them gluttonous because they really are gluttonous. They will eat anything and everything. So she has to figure out how to get out, and yeah. I have more games. I don't know why they didn't appear. Batman Arkham Knights. I love Batman Arkham Knights. Batman Arkham Knights is really good. It follows the story of how Batman died. Yeah, I know. Batman. Yeah, I read the comic and I was like, okay. So basically, it's almost like the comic. If you have read it, if you haven't, then you probably want to read the comic before the game or vice versa. It doesn't really matter. But if you're a Marvel fan like me, do it in that order. But yeah. Bendy and the Ink Machine. Bendy and the Ink Machine is like Disney gone wrong. So a Disney creator has created a person named Bendy and has created a person named Bendy, and Bendy created all these other characters and they come to life. And meanwhile, you're retired because you know something was going to happen way before you left. So you left, and then all of a sudden you get lured back into DreamWorks, into Disney Studios. So you have fun exploring by yourself. Meanwhile, trying to avoid Bendy and his army of ink people. Next is Crash Bandicoot. I love Crash Bandicoot. If you ever had the original Crash Bandicoot, it's really good. But this one, it's more graphics. It's better graphics. It's a clear picture. It's a better camera. It's really good, and it's just like the same as before. It's just upgraded. Next is Darksiders. Darksiders is really good. It's like cleansing the world of evil, because apparently the man was blamed for accidentally opening the underworld, and now to prove his innocence, he has to figure out a way to cleanse the world and find the main person who blamed him for it. So yeah, Darksiders 2, that's basically almost like the continuation of Darksiders, although I have not gotten far. Of that. Let me see if I can find it. Life is Strange, Darksiders. Here we go. Alright. Nope, it doesn't say anything. Why is everything in Spanish? I don't know. But yeah. Detroit Becomes Human. Detroit Becomes Human. I love this game. I've played this game like maybe over 10 times. That and Little Nightmares. Because it's really good. Detroit Becomes Human is basically these scientists have made robots, and the robots are made to serve the humans. But then what happens when the robots get a mind of their own and start to break away from what they were made to do? So that creates all kind of conflict, and it has a almost like what's happening now in the world with Black Lives Matter. In this case, it's Robot Lives Matter. So yeah, this all happens in Detroit, Michigan. Next is, yes, that is Frozen. I was bored. I was like, I want to play a little matching game. So yeah. And plus, my little cousin plays this every time she comes over. So I got it more for her than for me. She's like 6. So yeah. It's really fun. She likes it. All you do is just match the little frozen jewels, or you make the little special items that you have to find fall to the bottom, and you get points. So yeah. Horizon Zero Dawn is about people. They made genetically modified animals, and apparently she has to figure out what's their big plan before the world gets taken over by these animals. So yeah. Injustice 2, it's like the DC. It's like all of the DC characters fighting against each other. That's in free mode. But in story mode, you get a complex story of how like they all came to be and how they interact and stuff like that. Same with Injustice. Gods Among Us, the Ultimate Edition. That's basically like that too. So those two games are the same. It's just that this one is an upgraded version. This one, I got the Legendary Edition, and then I got the Ultimate Edition, which, yay! I got these on sale, too. Life is Strange. Life is Strange is about a girl who finds out she has the power to rewind stuff that happens in the world. So, but she figures out that by rewinding, she's also messing with time, and she's messing with the future. And some rewinds are good, but some rewinds are bad. But even the good rewinds end up becoming bad eventually later in life. And she is going to find that out. Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World is basically like you hunt monsters from this new world. Basically, yeah. Next, you have Mortal Kombat. Sorry, I took a pause because I thought I hurt my mother because she gets off at like 5. Next, we have Mortal Kombat 5. Okay. Oh, that's XL because it cut off the X at the top. Okay, next you have Mortal Kombat XL. It's really good. Like I said again, this has a storyline of all the characters, and it has a storyline of each individual character by itself. So if you want an action-packed game, if you want something that's really like with cool people and cool powers, like every time I play this game, I'm in such awe. And it's also something in the game is called the Crypt. You go through it. It's like exploring and a treasure hunt, basically. So I urge you to go get it if you want it. Next is Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank is a superhero story. You have to figure out why. You have to figure out why all these attacks are coming and who's really behind it and what's the ultimate goal. And it's really fun. I've gotten so far. I just have to finish the final boss, and I've been stuck on it for like 20 days now. So, next is pinball. Cause who doesn't like pinball? Everybody likes pinball. I remember that was the only time you could play. There was one time where you could only play pinball because your mother or your grandmother or somebody would be on the internet, and then all you could play was pinball or paint. So yeah, 90s kid, woohoo! Oh crap. Undertale is free in the PlayStation in the PS store, and then the Xbox store it's free. You can also play it on your computer, but I like playing it on my I like playing it on my PS4 instead, because the picture is much bigger and the controls are much easier. So I like doing that. So it's really fun. It's about Undertale is basically about there. Once upon a time, there was a world for humans and monsters until one human decided to break that and decided to go exploring into the monster world, and now all of a sudden that human wants to get out. Seems pretty easy, right? Wrong. Along the way, you find monsters who want to kill you, and then you find some monsters who just want to be like, "Hey, let me give you a hug. You're lost. Let me help you out." So yeah. Also, you have this really good mother goat who basically wants to take care of you as her kid and wants to keep you down there and love you, but then she realizes that you belong in the other world, and I'm not going to tell you because I'm not going to spoil it for you. So yeah, that's all my games. I did purchase Fortnite. Have not played it. Have not played it. Half of all this stuff is free, like Battle Ages, Big City Stories, Kitten Squad, War Thunder, Magic Library, whatever, Guns Up, Frozen, Pinball Arcade, all that stuff is free. So yeah, all this stuff is free. Although some of it I have not installed it to my I have not installed it to my PS4. I purchased it, but I haven't installed it to my PS4. So I don't know what made me download this. What made me download this? But I will be downloading that game, because I love anime. So yes. So that's all my games. So bye. If you want some games from the list, I will put them in the description bar down below.